Coming up at 11, the mountains brace for a winter whirlwind, how grocery stores and first responders are preparing.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Keaton Hall. With the possibility of heavy snow tonight into tomorrow, we continue our severe weather alert day coverage. Meteorologist Evan Hatter has the latest. Evan.
That's right, Keaton. We do have quite a bit of winter weather heading through the area as we head through the remainder of tonight. A winter storm warning in effect for the entire area. A winter storm warning in effect for the entire area as we run through the remainder of tonight and heading into tomorrow. This is in effect for the entire area and will run through tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures already dropping out there. Notice in our southern sections, still in the low to mid 40s. Clintwood's at 50 right now. The rest of us, it's 39 Prestonsburg, 37 in Jackson, and 30 in Irvin right now. Statewide view, the cold continues to work in. 29 Louisville, 29 Huntingburg, Indiana, and Evansville, Indiana. It's 26 in Elizabethtown, 27 in Bloomington. So the cold air continues to work into the mountains thanks to brisk northwest winds, 10 to 15 miles per hour at times. Here's where we stand right now. The shield of snow beginning to work into our western counties, West Liberty, over toward places like Irvin and into Somerset, Monticello. Couple of heavier bands also beginning to work into the bluegrass parts of Lexington, down towards even portions of Wayne County right now. Let's actually show you what's going on down there as we see a rather heavy snow band beginning to move into portions of Wayne County just south of Monticello. Everything here continues to move on off to the north and the east as we head through the remainder of the night. You see, by no means are we done with this yet, as this plume of moisture goes all the way back down into Louisiana. So we've got several hours to go before this continues, or before this is finished moving through the area. You see, as we head through the nighttime hours, temperatures continue to fall. Upper 20s by the time we hit 2 o'clock in the morning. That's when some of that snow is going to start to accumulate. It's going to start melting at first, especially on those roadways that are warmer, unless you get a heavier burst of snow that can overcome the warm ground. Notice, though, teens for wind chills, and we only get colder during the day. We start to diminish the snow as we head towards sunrise tomorrow. We're in the low to mid 20s out there for daytime, or for temperatures at the time, and low to mid teens for wind chills. We keep that into tomorrow afternoon. We start to clear out a little bit. The last of the snow showers and the snow squalls starting to move out by midday. We are socked in with bitter Arctic cold, temperatures in the 20s, and single-digit wind chills around the region, and it stays that way into tomorrow night. A widespread 3 to 6 inch snowfall around the region. If I had to pinpoint an area with the plus that has the greatest risk of seeing some higher amounts, it would be in southeast Kentucky, Harlan, Letcher, Pike counties, especially in the highest elevations, and then into southwest Virginia as well. Timing right now in our western section, seeing the beginning of the snow. If you're into places like Louisa, West Liberty, into Salyerville, Jackson, out toward Manchester, and London and Corbin as well, midnight to 1 a.m. Places like, let's say, Inez, over toward Prestonsburg, Hyden, Hazard, Hindman, Hazard, Hyden, Harlan, Pineville, and Middlesboro, 1 to 2 a.m. East of that, closer to 2 to 3 a.m. once we get that final push on through, at least of the beginning of it. Then the snow will last for quite a bit, at least through the sunrise hour, as we continue to watch the potential for accumulating snow. Again, 3 to 6 inches, a good bet around much of the mountains. Community Trust Bank extended forecast, that 38, that's a midnight high, because we're only going to fall as we head into the afternoon. It won't hang around long, though. We're back in the 40s as we head into Sunday, 60s and 70s into next week. So spring is back as we spring forward with the beginning of daylight saving time. Keaton.
Thank you, Evan. Grocery stores across the region have stocked up to prepare for an increase in shoppers before the severe weather comes our way. Staple items like bread, milk, and eggs are some of the products people stock up on before the bad weather hits. But local grocery store workers say supply chain issues are causing shortages in other items like frozen food. Eric McCarty with Don's Super Saver in Harlan says it's best to stock up on foods that don't need to be refrigerated, not only to combat some supply chain issues, but to be prepared in case your power goes out.
Things like beanie weenies and viney sausages and potted meat, stuff you don't have to cook, stuff that you can just open up and eat. That would be my recommendation instead of buying a bunch of frozen stuff, just in case your power goes out.
The owner of Hayden Grocer, Tim Couch, says he has also been experiencing supply chain issues, but with certain sandwich meats and Reynolds products. Officials in Pike County are warning folks to stay safe during the upcoming snowfall this weekend. With 3 to 6 inches possible and temperatures dropping nearly 50 degrees in 36 hours, icy roads will be very dangerous. Officials say, if possible, try to give plenty of time for crews to treat the roads tomorrow morning before venturing out.
You can stay off the roads if you can. Wait a little bit into the day tomorrow. If you don't have to get out early, give those road departments time to get out once the snow does start sticking, that they can stay on top of those roads.
Jackson also emphasized being weather aware for whatever Mother Nature may throw at us this spring. A vandalism in Floyd County has the crew from an LGBTQ+ safe space hoping for answers. Employees at Open Doors Counseling Center turned up to work Thursday, finding that their Prestonburg space had been egged. The center, a mental health and resource center for all who need help, specializes in LGBTQ resources. Owner Kyle May says the vandalism came as a shock.
We've been here over a year at the Prestonsburg location, and we have not had any issues. The community, Prestonsburg, Floyd County area, along with the Big Sandy region surrounding the area, has been very welcoming, and supportive of the work that we do here.
May says the center will continue to offer help and hope to the community, and this incident will only help fuel that mission. Anyone with information about the egging is asked to contact the Prestonburg Police Department. With March being National Kidney Month, health officials in Corbin are asking everyone to get tested for kidney disease. Those with Dialysis Clinic Incorporated say almost 8 to 10 million people are unaware they have the disease. 2 to 4 million people out of those have severe chronic kidney disease. One of the clinic's patients, Kenneth McGee, says if you can get tested, you should.
I wasn't checked, and maybe if I was checked, I could have saved myself a lot of unnecessary stuff going on.
Health officials say you should always talk to your primary doctor first whenever the disease is in question. Researchers from the United Kingdom made a stop in eastern Kentucky. They're studying the attitudes toward COVID and vaccines in South Wales and here in our region, comparing the similarities and differences. Public Health Director Scott Lockard also visited South Wales and says he took a lot away from his visit.
Really looking at those attitudes and beliefs, what's motivating people to get vaccinated, because that's the key. We don't want to mandate vaccines, and I think that's been a challenge here that's really caused us a lot of issues.
Researchers tell us they've had about 6 months to work on this project. Everybody has to start somewhere. For Cincinnati Bengals player Trent Taylor, it was in his backyard in Corbin, Kentucky. Trent went on to play college football at Louisiana Tech, and he was drafted to the NFL by the 49ers in 2017. But his dad says some of the best memories come from right here in eastern Kentucky.
And the bigger thing about that, from like probably 4 years old to 6 or 7 years old, we did football camps in my backyard in Corbin with probably 10 or 11 total kids between 6 and 8 years old.
In 2021, Trent signed with the Cincinnati Bengals, bringing him closer to home and taking him to the Super Bowl. Trent re-signed with the Bengals for the 2022 offseason. After weeks of bargaining, MLB Players Union and owners struck a deal yesterday. The 99-day lockout is the second longest in league history. It caused a cancellation of the first 2 weeks of spring training games, but with some creative scheduling allows for a full 162-game regular season. The delay worried not just fans, but also business owners who have shops around ballparks, particularly concerned after COVID that another season could be disrupted.
I think that it's safe to say, as long as I've been in this neighborhood, this is the most important season of baseball for these surrounding businesses and for the people who live in this area ever.
Spring training has been shortened to a little more than 3 weeks. Season will officially start April 7th, a week later than normal. Well, it's that time of year again where you're unfortunately going to lose an hour of sleep, at least for one night. This weekend, Sunday, March 13th at 2 a.m. will spring forward 1 hour, so not tonight, tomorrow night. But as of 2021, 33 states have proposed bills to end daylight savings time. But legislation like that can't take effect until the federal law changes. Daylight saving time runs this Sunday until November 6th. Thanks for joining us tonight. Courtney Lane Brewer will have highlights and scores from across the coverage area, plus a preview of tomorrow's Kentucky game. Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime is coming your way right after this break.
YMT Weather, sponsored by Community Trust Bank, building communities.